I went to school, partly in Nigeria. I did my first degree in Nigeria and did my master's and doctorate degree in the United States, Albany State University and Dougherty University in Sarasota, Florida. My first job, it was in Nigeria. It was also in education as a teacher, actually preparing teachers, for the school system in Nigeria. So I've been in education, all of my life. I left Nigeria, I believe, in 1987, and arrived in Albany in 1988. Started working, almost right away with the school system as a substitute teacher, and then eventually full-time teacher at Radium Middle School. I remember my first position there as a science teacher in 1993. And I've been in the system since then. I believe I think I took my family out for dinner, somewhere. I can't recall, but I think we did celebrate, their appointment. It was something that we were joyful about and thankful about. So I took my family out to dinner. I'm not quite sure whether it was Western Sizzling then. We used to have Western Sizzling back then. I believe that's what it was, way back then. That's right. Awesome. Again, recognizing what is working, recognizing the people who are doing terrific job. Raising the morale of your people. I believe in collaboration. I believe in shared leadership. And once you empower your people to do the right kind of work, you'll be surprised and amazed at how much they can do, for you. My philosophy has always been to collaborate extensively, to believe in people, to provide them with the skills and resources that they need to do a good job. For my students, the same philosophy, applies. I truly love what I do. I love my students. I believe in them. And I also believe that if we provide them with the right kind of motivation, that they'll rise to education, and that has always been the case, I go out of my way to form relationships with my students and my people that that work with me. I truly believe that relationships make a big difference. Forming those bonds, getting to know people, getting to know what their needs are, understanding where they're coming from, their frustrations, what makes them happy, calling into those things, truly knowing who are working with you, those who are in your circle, whether they are students, whether they are parents, or whether they are, co-workers, getting to know them and sympathizing with them, empathizing with them, it makes a big difference. And that has been my philosophy, all through my career. Well, again, like I said, I started out as an educator in Nigeria. It's always been a passion of mine to make a difference in people's lives, and education lends to that. To that point, I thought I had a knack for it. And clearly that was evident in the classroom. I believe if you speak with those who work with me, way back at Radium, where I started, Radium Middle, they will attest to the fact that, yes, I was effective. And I'm not saying that to be, impressed of myself, but clearly I was effective. I made a difference, and I still have those students way back, when I was a teacher at Radium, still come to me today to express gratitude, to, share highlights of their lives with me as their teacher. And I've been lucky to have people, leaders that have pushed me in the right direction, who saw something in me about leadership and directed my steps towards leadership. And the rest is history. clearly my parents. My parents have been the greatest influence in my life. I looked up to them. My dad was a strict disciplinarian. He had the highest of expectations for all of us. We are 7 altogether in our family, 7 siblings, and all of us are college graduates. It was just a given, in my house, in our household, that you go into college, that was just a standard. All of them, when I say all of them, my parents' siblings, all of them are college graduates, PhD holders, lawyers, accountants. He was a banker, so I had role models within my family, the extended family, and in the larger society, but my parents clearly, were my role models. It boils down to student achievement, making sure that we're closing the gaps of learning between different subgroups. We want to make sure that we are delivering first-class instruction to our students, that we are providing them with all the learning, high-level learning that they need to be successful. As we look at the data when it comes to student achievement, we've noticed big gaps, students going through the ranks without being able to read properly, students who are promoted unprepared. We want to fix that. We want to make sure that we are doing the right kind of work, that when we, for example, move a child forward, that they have actually acquired the skills and the knowledge to be successful at the next level. So that challenge is clearly communicated to us, that student achievement is the biggest challenge. And of course, we can talk a whole lot about how we go about doing that, but at the heart of it is making sure that we prepare teachers to be effective in the classroom. We have the right kind of people in the classroom, you'll also see a relationship as far as student achievement goes. My iPad, it goes with me wherever I go to, taking notes, communicating, name it. It's mobile, so it allows me to do what I need to do away from my office.
Do you have a favorite book?
Actually, most of my books are education related. Currently, I'm reading a book by Richard Dufour, Raising the Bar, Closing the Achievement Gap. I'm trying to make sure that I'm very well aware of what it takes to do the job that I've been entrusted to do. So I keep myself immersed in terms of reading necessary literature, research-based literature that will help me to be successful in what I'm doing.
Gosh, you need to do this. What would that be?
I wish I could, even myself wish I could go back to my school days and change some of the things that I did growing up. I'm happy and grateful that I attended a school system that emphasized discipline and structure. I went to a boarding school, which is mostly what we have in Nigeria. And in that setting, your whole outlook is structured from the moment you wake up to the moment, to when you go to bed. If I had the opportunity, of course, which I still do when I talk to our kids today, our students today, which I love dearly, I tell them that the society is changing, the world is changing, that the skills that they need to be successful have changed tremendously, and unless they are prepared, unless they're adequately prepared in terms of learning all that they need to learn, in terms of being disciplined, in terms of applying themselves, in terms of having goals for themselves, setting goals for themselves, they won't be successful. So I'm hoping that our message, that the message that I'll bring to the system will help to channel our kids in the right direction, that we should be able to get to a point where we're able to communicate to our students about the sense of urgency to do the right thing, to be disciplined, to motivate themselves. Because what we've done in so many ways in our schools, having to try to motivate our kids to want to be successful. part of that motivation has to come from within. And they would have to want to learn. It's not always going to be someone else motivating them to want to be successful. It has to come from within as well. So as we push them to be successful, they also will have to come to the table being willing to be successful themselves.